Hey there, Cowboys fans. Get ready for a potential game changer. We've got some exciting news that could shake up the Cowboys roster and bring an edge to our defense. If you're a die-hard fan looking to stay updated on all things Cowboys, you won't want to miss this. Don't forget to click, subscribe, and support the team as we explore the details. Let's first dive into the recent team news. Micah Parsons has quickly become a household name in the NFL, and for good reason. Since joining the league 3 seasons ago, he's consistently ranked at the top in Pat's rush win rate, pressures, pressure percentage, and sacks. The converted Penn State linebacker has been a cornerstone on the edge for the Cowboys, leading our defense under the guidance of Dan Quinn. But guess what? Our new defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer, believes there's even more untapped potential in Parsons. Zimmer sees Parsons not just as a defensive fixture, but as a versatile chess piece that can be moved and utilized in ways that will keep opposing offenses on their toes. Parsons has been dominant, playing 801 of his 911 snaps on the defensive line last season. However, offenses had caught on, often doubling and even tripling him. This led to Parsons being neutralized in some of the biggest games of the year, including matchups against the 49ers, Giants, Eagles, Commanders, and Packers. Zimmer aims to change that by deploying Parsons in more varied and strategic ways. Imagine Parsons not just rushing from the edge, but moving across the line to exploit mismatches and create chaos. By keeping him on the move, Zimmer intends to prevent blocking schemes from keying in on Parsons. This dynamic approach could see Parsons lining up in different spots, forcing offenses to constantly adapt. One of the exciting strategies Zimmer plans to use is the double A-gap blitz. This tactic involves attacking both sides of the center, challenging the pocket directly and limiting what the blocking scheme can do to stop it. It's tough to double team in pass protection and can create favorable matchups for our defenders. When combined with a BER front, where the center and both guards are covered, the double A-gap blitz can put offensive linemen in conflict and disrupt the running game. To make this work, the Cowboys need players capable of handling 1-gap and 2-gap responsibilities on the outside. Enter Viliami Fehoko, Chauncey Golston, and Marshon Kneeland, who are all larger than their predecessors and capable of being solid two-way players. Lawrence's presence will still be key, but having a deep rotation of capable defenders will allow Parsons to be used more flexibly. If these players can step up, it will enable Zimmer to unleash Parsons in ways that maximize his disruptive potential. The potential impact of this approach extends beyond just stats. It could fundamentally change how our defense operates, making it more adaptable and resilient. Offensive lines will have a harder time preparing for us, knowing that we have multiple threats on the edge and in the interior. Now, let's get to our main news. The name Yannick Ngakoue might sound familiar, and for good reason. This defensive end has had a whirlwind career over the past few years. From being a pro bowler with the Jaguars to bouncing around teams like the Vikings, Ravens, Raiders, Colts, and Bears, Ngakoue has seen it all. His journey might be chaotic, but his talent is undeniable. So why should the Cowboys be interested in Ngakoue? Well, for starters, he's a quarterback's nightmare. With 69.0 career sacks, he ranks 9th in the NFL since entering the league in 2016. That's just above Chargers Pro Bowl edge rusher Joey Bosa and below Chiefs All-Pro defensive tackle Chris Jones. But what's more intriguing is that, given the current NFL calendar, Ngakoue can be had on the cheap. We already have one of the best edge rushers in the NFL in Micah Parsons, and DeMarcus Lawrence is an ideal complement on the other side. But depth remains a concern. Last year's primary backup, Dorrance Armstrong, left for the Commanders in free agency, leaving us a bit thin at the position. That's where Ngakoue comes in. Imagine having a seasoned veteran like him coming off the bench to pressure the quarterback on third downs. It's a tantalizing prospect, and one that CBS Sports is strongly advocating for. Let's not sugarcoat it. Free agency has not been kind to us. 8 players have already left to sign elsewhere, and more departures seem likely. Stephen Gilmore and Jaron Kearse could be the next to go. The Cowboys have chosen to rely heavily on the draft to fill these gaps, with second-round rookie Marshon Kneeland being a prime example. But what if Kneeland isn't ready to make an immediate impact? What if he needs time to adjust to the NFL's pace and physicality? That's where having a plan B, like Ngakoue, becomes crucial. Ngakoue could serve as a situational pass rusher, specializing in third downs to put extra pressure on the opposing quarterback. Remember, the Cowboys were the No. 2 team in pass rushing last year, according to Pro Football Focus. Adding Ngakoue could help us maintain that elite status. Speaking of Marshon Kneeland, the rookie from Western Michigan has a lot of promise. Known for his relentless motor and high-effort play, Kneeland has caught the eye of Cowboys scouts and executives alike. Cowboys EP Will McClay had high praise for Kneeland, saying, "The number one thing about him is the high effort and motor that he plays with. Then to be talented, physically talented enough to play at this level. We noticed him early on. Brett Maxey is the area scout who brought him to our attention early, and the more you watch him, the more you see NFL traits and the traits that we are looking for on the defensive side. Playing hard all the time and having the ability to rush the passer outside and inside." But even with all his potential, Kneeland is still a rookie. The jump from college to the NFL is massive, and having a mentor like Ngakoue could be invaluable. Ngakoue's experience and skills could help Kneeland develop faster, making our defensive line even more formidable. The Cowboys are dealing with a tricky cap situation, but Ngakoue could be a perfect fit, especially if we can sign him for a veteran minimum deal. This would provide depth and experience at a low cost, allowing us to allocate resources to other areas of need. In terms of strategy, adding Ngakoue would enable us to rotate our defensive ends more effectively, keeping everyone fresh and reducing the risk of injury. This depth could be the key to sustaining a high level of performance throughout the season, especially during the playoffs when every snap counts. Ngakoue's potential impact on the Cowboys extends beyond just stats. His presence could change the dynamics of our defense, providing more flexibility in our game plan. Imagine the different packages and blitzes we could deploy with Ngakoue in the mix. Offensive lines would have a harder time preparing for us, knowing that we have multiple threats on the edge. Do you think Ngakoue is the missing piece for our defense? How do you see him fitting into our current lineup? Comment below with your opinions and predictions. We thrive on the support and engagement of fans like you. Your insights, predictions, and feedback are what make this community strong. So let's keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts on Ngakoue, Kneeland, and the overall state of our roster. What are your hopes for the upcoming season? Which matchups are you most looking forward to? Don't forget to click subscribe and support the team as we explore these exciting details further. We want to hear from you, Cowboys Nation. Let's root together for more victories for our team. Let's show the strength of the Cowboys Nation.